All right, welcome back everyone for another deep dive. You know how we do it here. We take one report or study or whatever, really dig in and see what's really going on.
Hmm.
And today, we're looking at something that's honestly kind of mind-blowing once you start thinking about it.
Hmm.
Design and manufacturing.
Yeah. Two things you might not think about every day.
Exactly. But this report, Design and Manufacturing Technologies, Societal and Environmental Impacts, basically lays out how much this stuff impacts, like, everything.
It really does touch every part of our lives.
So, ready to have your mind blown?
Let's do it.
Okay, so one thing that always pops up when we talk about manufacturing is, robots. Robots taking jobs. Is that really the whole story?
Well, it's a big part of it. Like, think about how cars are made now. Robots do so much of the work, welding, painting, all that stuff, way faster and more accurate than a person could ever be.
Yeah. But what happens to the people whose jobs those were?
That's the thing, right? It's not just about robots replacing humans. It's about creating new opportunities, too.
Okay, I'm intrigued. What kind of new opportunities?
Think 3D printing. It's
Yeah.
still pretty new, but it's growing like crazy. And it needs people. People who can design digital models, people who can work the printers, people who can fix them when they break down. It's a whole new field with a ton of jobs.
So it's less about jobs disappearing, more about them changing.
Exactly. And you know what else is changing? The whole way we think about buying stuff. Because of all this new tech, now we can have things customized.
Oh yeah, mass customization.
Right. Shoes made to fit your feet perfectly, phone cases with your initials, things that were basically impossible before.
It's pretty cool. I admit I've definitely fallen for it. I love that I can get stuff personalized.
Yeah. But it does make you wonder, though, right? If everybody's getting everything custom made, what does that mean for the environment? More resources used, more waste created.
Hmm, that's a good point. Maybe mass customization isn't all sunshine and rainbows.
Hmm.
But let's move on to the environmental impacts, because that's a big part of this report. They talk a lot about energy efficiency in factories.
Yeah, and it's not just small changes. We're talking big overhauls. Like, a lot of factories are switching to LED lights. They use way less energy than those old bulbs.
Makes sense. Saves money too, probably.
Totally. And some companies are going even further. Like Tesla, with their gigafactories, they're trying to run them entirely on renewable energy, solar, wind, stuff like that.
Wow. So they're not even using fossil fuels.
That's the goal. It's a huge shift in how we think about energy.
Yeah, like a big step towards fighting climate change.
Yeah.
The report also talks about using tech to deal with pollution, which is pretty cool.
Right. Electric vehicles are a great example. No fumes coming out of the tailpipe, so much less air pollution, especially in cities.
Makes a big difference there. And then there's like Adidas making shoes out of recycled ocean plastic.
Yeah, they're doing some cool stuff with that. But here's the thing, right? We have to be careful not to get too excited and think, oh, problem solved.
Because it's not that simple.
Exactly. Recycling is great, don't get me wrong, but it doesn't fix the real issue. We're still using way too much plastic, and most of it ends up in the trash.
So we got to get away from that whole throwaway culture.
Yeah.
And the report talks about something called durable design, which seems like a good place to start.
Yeah. It's basically the opposite of planned obsolescence, where things are made to break down so you have to buy new ones.
Which is super annoying.
Yeah.
Like, why can't my phone charger just last forever?
Right. But there are companies that get it, like Patagonia. They make clothes that are meant to last for years, even decades. They even have a repair program.
Because if your jacket rips, they'll fix it.
Yeah. It's totally different from fast fashion, where clothes fall apart after a couple washes.
It's almost like they want you to keep buying new stuff.
Pretty much. But anyway, the materials themselves are important too, right? Like what things are made of.
Totally. What are some of the coolest sustainable materials out there?
Oh, there are so many. Bamboo, hemp, recycled plastics, even leather made from mushrooms.
Leather made from mushrooms. Okay, now you're just messing with me.
Nope, it's a real thing.
Hmm.
And the best part is, companies are using these materials because people are demanding it.
So consumer choices actually matter.
Big time. If we buy sustainable products, companies will make more of them. Oh, and there's this whole thing called the circular economy that's super interesting.
Circular economy. Okay, now I'm lost. What is that?
It's like a system where there's almost no waste. Everything is designed to be taken apart, fixed, reused, or recycled. It's a closed loop, so resources are always circulating instead of being thrown away.
Sounds pretty utopian, but is anyone actually doing that?
IKEA's trying. They're renting furniture, buying back old furniture, and designing stuff that's easy to take apart and recycle.
Wow, that's pretty ambitious.
Yeah. Their goal is to be a completely circular business by 2030. It shows how seriously companies are starting to take this stuff.
It's pretty inspiring. So, big takeaway from this whole deep dive is that design and manufacturing choices, they have huge ripple effects. Like, it's not just about the products themselves, but also how they're made, what they're made of, and what happens to them when we're done with them.
Totally. And it all ties back to us, right? The consumers. Knowing all this, do you think we have a responsibility to choose products and companies that are doing things the right way?
Ooh, that's a tough one. But it's something we all need to think about. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the world of design and manufacturing. Keep learning, keep asking questions, and keep making good choices out there. We'll see you next time.